Hello, this is Dark Rambler. We are back for my second video playthrough of The Age of Decadence, and here we are with Vlad the Impaler. In between the first video and this one, I did a little bit of town business. I went and sold some loot, did a little bit of more mushroom picking and alchemy, and just getting ready for the next part of the game stuff so I can make these videos a little bit shorter. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to join the Commerceum, but before I do that, I will pick up a few more quests, and I will also talk to another person up here just to get a few things out the way. Later in the game, I'm going to want some reputation with House Crassus, and there's a preacher in the middle of town here. If you come up and actually listen to him and don't throw rocks at him like it says here, and talk to him and be careful with your dialogue. I can take my first intelligence skill check here in the dialogue, but there's another one that you shouldn't take. Anyway, the point is to gain some reputation, and I want to talk good to him. I want to sort of butter him up. I'm going to skip this dialogue because I will lose reputation. I want to gain it. So right here, House Crassus reputation increased, and I'm walking away, and I'm going to pick up 2 more quests right here. I'm approaching the palace. I have a quest, a main quest, to show Lord Antitus a map, and also a side quest to give him a ring. So I will try to get in, and of course I'm not going to get in. This man here, Delar, he's going to give me 2 quests, and if I do either one of them, and there's another way to get in. I don't have any impersonate. There's multiple ways of getting in, but what I want to do is I want to get both of his quests. I've got one right there, and if I get to the point in the dialogue to say, is there anything else I can help you with, I will get another quest, and that's the one I will actually do first, and I will leave it right there, and then we'll go work for the Commerceum. Now, I've got a few sneaking around, creeping around, lockpicking skills. I could climb over the fence, but I would get caught and tortured and thrown out. I would gain 10 skill points, but I would lose 2 maximum hit points, and I only got 40. I want to keep them. I don't want to go down to 38, so I'll let those points slide. And now I'm going to pay the merchants a visit, and most of this walkthrough here will probably be talking. May not be any combat, but if not in this one, if not in this video, certainly in my next one. So I will go in and I will talk to Linus. I need a job. I've got a little bit of rep. Okay, he wants me to prove that the guards at the gate are corrupt, and he's very concerned about the Imperial guards because he thinks they're up to something. He wants me to go talk to him, so I could use here, but I'm just showing the map to, in case anybody doesn't know the layout, and just to be informative about which way you can go. I will go to the gate. I've been there once, and I picked up the quest for Amola's gold, which I will get to eventually, certainly not in this video. And I'll talk to the guards. They're willing to talk, and they talk about getting their pay cut, and I will have a persuasion check that hold on a second. I think I may have made a little mistake. I did not put my persuasion in there yet. Now I did. Now let's do this conversation. There we go. Now, I'm going to fail the trading check. That's fine. I'll go ahead and bribe them and go back and turn in the quest. Okay, to do this first phase, you need a persuasion of 3, and I won't make that mistake again. I will keep skill points available to up the skills necessary to finish Tehran with the Commerceum, to do the mainline story quest. Then we'll get to some fighting, but I can actually get through this quest line fairly quick. So I'll report my findings, and I will get another task. Okay, I'll let him know I got a little bit of my money back, and he wants me to talk to a man in the Imperial Guard named Mercato. That's how I'm going to say it, and rather than go through all of this, I'll just say I'm going to talk to him. Okay, so I'm standing out front of this building, or underneath the awning. But before I go do anything, I'm going to go through this door, because now I'm a member of the Commerceum. I'm going to talk to Xenon, and I will ask him some things about the history of the Commerceum Guild, who runs it, and who has the power. Now, when I get to the point of any tips, and remember, any guild you join, always talk to the guys around after you get into the guild, because, boom, I got my streetwise, trading, and etiquette, and I need all of those, and I will need etiquette and streetwise to finish up here, and I'll talk to him a little bit more, and then I'll leave. And this is what we have. It's what we have for our skills. Now, in order to talk to Makato, he is a sort of a gambling, drunk, wayward Imperial Guard soldier. He is at the Thieves Guild Tavern. And I'm going to tell you now what points you need to pass the skill checks in the conversation. You will need a combination of persuasion and streetwise 7, and you have enough to put 1 into streetwise and 1 into persuade, and now you have 7 points, and you'll be able to advance the quest. So I will go down here. This is where the tavern is. I'm right here. I could really walk to it. I'll just hit it. I'll go in and I will greet the guild master. I'll tell you what, before I do that, I'm going to save it just in case I screw up the conversation and have to come back. Because some conversations you get a second chance. Some conversations in this game you don't. And it can throw your path off your story. So I'll greet, pay my respects, and then I'll go talk to Makato, and I get a chance to play some games with him. And now I will fail on this check, which is all right, but I will get a little bit of gold, but I still get another chance. I will pass on this check, and I will gain some money, and then I will try to put the squeeze on him. Actually, he ends up 1,200 in debt. I kind of fast clicked. He ends up actually owing me some money, so I'm going to try to use that debt against him. I will pass what checks I can, and he actually puts up some resistance. So streetwise and charisma, I will fail that because I have very low charisma, but it's not over yet. Trading and persuasion, I don't have enough, but I have streetwise and persuasion. It says, be on your way. Let's not pretend you have a choice. You want to deal with Kato's thugs, do you? Okay. You don't want to deal with Kato's thugs. Okay, so this will give me one more chance, and I will pass it. Okay, and I'm just going to ask him, now, this is about his boss, the leader of the Imperial Guard, Commander Carinus. And that's who I'm basically going to have to set up for, to be guild, in other words. And I will find out that the leader of the Imperial Guards wants to take over the town, and he's staging attacks on caravans and on merchants in order to, gain power. So I'm not going to ask him any more questions. It would take charisma checks, which I will fail, and so Kato's going to stop me. He just wants half the money, so here you go. Now step aside and get a little rep with them and report my findings, and I get a nice little lump sum of skill points there, and some money and some reputation increase. And basically he's leading me up to a final test. He wants me to go to the Assassin's Guild and take out a contract on Commander Carinus, the leader of the Imperial Guards. So, yeah, I'll talk to him a little bit more. I would recommend it, and you can leave, and let's see what I have here. What I will do now is I will go and see the Assassins. They're basically called the Boatmen of Styx. They're over here on the other side of town, sort of catty corner from the inn. So I will go there, and they're not going to want to do this because it's a very high-profile assassination target, but I'm going to get this done. And so I will tell them to start putting a team together, and I'm going to finally get in to see the boss of the town. And that sneaks me past Delar to at least give the big guy the map, and to give that ring that I have a quest to give him, a fake ring. So even though I have 2 quests that this guy gave me in order to get past him, and I will do them, I can get past him now with this, with knowing about the plot. Go in, Vlad the Impaler. I like it. So when I talk to him, there's a plot against you, my lord, and here we go. And don't do this. It will totally screw your game up. I will go, I have no proof, my lord, and then he will send me back to Linus, and I will go and get proof from Commander Carinus. I will forge a document with his handwriting, so I will leave. Now I do have some skill points. And I'll place them. Now in order to get the documents that I need, I'm going to need a skill check of 4 on my etiquette. And really to do this quest with the Commerceum, to do the mainline story quest in Act 1 in Terran, you need a etiquette and a persuasion and a streetwise of 4, which I don't have yet, but I will very soon, and a lore of 3. 4, 4, 4, not yet but soon, and 3, which I already have. So I will go and talk to the Imperial Guards, which are down at the barracks. And check this out, they got people crucified. There's some really gruesome stuff here. Of course, Vlad the Impaler, he's probably getting some ideas from all of this. And you can even see these guys, some of them are moving a little bit still. Okay, I see his head moving a little bit. Yeah, pretty awful. So I will go ahead and head into the barracks, and it will give me an option to put on some merchant robes, which I didn't have any in my inventory, but I mysteriously have them in my inventory now. And I will be allowed in to see Commander Carinus, and I want him to know, I don't want him to know anything. I want a signature so I can forge it. We want his guarantee that the roads are safe, which we know we're not going to get, but I can get a document from him with my etiquette of 4. I will pass that check, and I will go back to Linus, and I will be able to forge a document of him admitting basically that he's staging attacks on caravans. Okay, I have high perception and a lore of 3. That's enough to forge the evidence. And I will be able to have a success, and I will be able to take this, and Titus isn't going to buy it right off the bat. Let's see. I think I want to have a few more skill points and get my streetwise up in case. So what I will do to get some quick and easy skill points is I have quests now. I can go to my world map. I'm not ready to do the quests here. They all involve violence. But I can go to each of these places, and just for discovering the area, I will get 5 skill points. And I won't even take a step, because if I do and I engage in any conversation, I may alter the storyline and not have a chance to do what I want to do. That was 5 skill points. Here's going to be 10, and then there's going to be 15, and then I will be able to pass the skill checks and the dialogue to get this quest. And once we get past this, I will start number 1, making a little bit better gear, and then I'll start doing more fighting. And it will probably be in the next video. Not sure about that. We'll see. This is not really edited videos I'm putting out. These are my very first. I promise if things take off, I will get better. But I'm narrating as I play, and which is kind of dicey, especially for starting out. But hey, I'm willing to take some risks. I will have 4 in streetwise, and I may not need it on this conversation. I just want to be ready, and of course I'll save my game. And that's the best thing to do a lot of times, is to accumulate some skill points. And when you got to go in to turn in a quest or to get a quest or to do any kind of a dialogue, just save your game. And if you don't get the results you want, you can reload it and then put those skill points in a different place. So I will go and see Lord Antidus again. And I will use this opportunity to give him a ring. Of course, I'll end up being told to leave. I can get back in twice. That's that ring that Fing gave me to give him. I'm going to get a few points for that. And a little bit of increase on my reputation, at least with this house, which after this act I really won't need it anyways. And so I will go back in, and I still won't give him the proof yet. And I'll give him the map that I've been wanting to show, and I will get 18 skill points. Really good. And we will talk about a prophecy, another map, finding a lost temple, and that's the main point of the game. So I've got that done, and I will go, there's something else, my lord. Here's the proof. Okay, you gotta be careful on which ones you take. I will take the first one. Carinus couldn't keep Sertor. That's the main fort, which you can access in certain other builds and quest lines. I won't be able to go there with this character in this game. Well, I may be able to, depending if I make a certain decision much later on. But let's go ahead and do this. And I got 4 more civil skill points, and he will expect a lot of money. So I will go and tell Linus, and he'll be happy. Got more skill points and a lot more increase in rep. And we're just going to talk. I'll pass this success. That'll get me another point of reputation with the Commerceum. And he wants me to now go talk to... he'll want me to go talk to Mercato. Okay, this is like the next day, and Commander Carinus was assassinated. So we pulled off the plot. Like I said, a lot of talking here, but we'll get around that. And when I leave, he wants me. Let's see. Let me look at it. The loose ends. This is my last mainline quest in this town. I have to convince the remaining guards to join House Number 10, or convince Antidus to finish them off. I'm just going to convince them to join, because I would need to get a whole lot more persuasion in order to convince Antidus to kill everybody. So I'll go back to the barracks, and by now Commander Carinus is dead, the one I talked to very briefly. But Mercato is now in charge of the Imperial Guard. I will watch his speech, and then I'll start to talk to him and try to lean on him to join House Antidus, and he'll put up resistance, of course. But if I take either one of these, I will fail, and I won't get a second chance. I'll mess my story up. But if you come to the third option, remember I've got 4, 4, and 4 in my etiquette, persuasion, and streetwise. And I didn't want to raise them any higher right now. So this one with no skill checks at all. Do you really think that after we made you commander, you could turn your back on us and blah, blah, blah? Furthermore, you hit that, and he thinks about it, and he will join us. Or he will join Lord Antidus. So I will go back to the palace and let him know. And I'll be really racking up the skill points. Then I'll be ready to craft some new gear and do some fighting. I've convinced the remaining guards to join your house. Very good. So I'll report my findings to Linus, and he is very happy. Look, 24 skill points. Remember, I have an intelligence of 8, so I'm always going to get a bonus. Otherwise, I would get like 20. And then because of all the lore dialogue and etiquette and persuasion, the checks that I did pass throughout the whole quest, they will add up and give me a little bonus, 5 civil skill points. And I will get a decrease with House Aurelian, House Duratan, that's Antidus's house, Peacemaker, and that helps. All these things will help me get access to some more training, some more quests. And he's going to tell me about Strabos. And now I can leave for Mataran. I won't. It will say leave for Mataran, but don't do it. You'll still be in town, because if you leave, you can miss out on at least one of these last few quests that you can have if you're at this point. Okay, I got a good number of skill points there. I'm happy with that. I'm looking for my quests. Okay, I want to do this quest, and this quest before I leave. I want to do these three. The first one, the easiest one probably to do, will be the Raiders. I'll have to kill somebody, but before I do that, because I want to kill them in dialogue with a critical strike, I will need a body count of 8 in order to get that one kill I'm going to get to add up to 9, so I can use Intimidate in order to complete a quest. So I'm going to want to fight here in town. There's a group of bad guys. I will put my crafting skill up to 4. That'll be good. And I want my dodge skill way up. I'm going to want it higher than that, and I'm going to get it higher than that. And right now I'll show you what I'm going to do, since now I'm going to lean into some fighting. See, a lot of these skills over here, I was told in some of the videos on YouTube by other players that, you know, if you put skills over here, you're not going to be able to build a fighter, but you can actually get a lot of free skills. Remember, I got an extra lockpick, I got extra skills in all of these. I got bumps in trading and in lore and in crafting, all from having a little bit of sneak and lockpick. So they'll add up. You know, that's my path. And right now, let's see what I have. Okay, I'm going to craft. I tell you what, I can't really craft anything. I've got over 1,000 gold. I'm going to go right here to the blacksmith. And I'm going to learn how to make spears, and I'm going to learn how to make leather armor. Do you have any schematics? Weapons, here we go. 50 gold to learn spears. Show me again. Armor schematics. 75 to learn leather. Here we go. Okay, for a spear, it's a toss between a dory and a Romach. I'm going to go with the Romach because it gives me a passive chance. The wiser choice would probably be the dory, but I already have a high perception, so I got a little bit of a to hit bonus. Plus, I can craft some to hit bonus into my Romach. And because I have a skill level of 4, I can actually pick several traits. I can't do more. I have to have more crafting to put more traits into a weapon. So the first part of the weapon, I will get a to-hit bonus that will mitigate some of the some of what I'll lose giving up the dory, because it actually has a bonus of to hit. And here, I'm kind of caught up between some things. I wouldn't mind having more passive effect. The passive effect of the spear is when they come at you with a two-handed spear, you have a chance to push them back, and that actually occurs, you know, fairly often enough. But hardened edge will actually damage armor, allowing me to eventually do, in some long drawn-out fights, will allow me to do more damage, because, like I said earlier in the last video, my guy Vlad, we made him kind of physically weak, but quick. So this is what we're going to build. Okay, so we forged that, and I'm going to forge some leather armor. And something to reinforce against critical hit damage. There we go. I'll equip him. This stuff, I was given a knife. I think Lord Antidus gave me that for doing that quest. Actually, no, all I need to do my instant kills is just any old knife, and I'm gonna break down this dagger, break down this, and I'm still gonna use my old stuff here. Got a couple of sporty rings, if I want. It really don't mean anything. I will certainly eventually end up selling them. I do believe this video has probably gone on long enough. Before I forget, I will put poison, and soon I will be ready to do some, really I'm ready now. I'm just going to do a little bit of selling, and I'm not going to include that in this video or the next one. So thanks for watching, and if you stayed this far, I will be making the third one. Dark Rambler out.